their aging infrastructure. And I'm going to let Gail Schwartz talk about that. But first, I just want to say the really most important thing that we have and why all of you are here is we need to elect John Hickenlooper as Colorado's next governor. He is the right man at the right time to serve as Colorado's governor and to lead this state forward. You know he's brought new business development and entrepreneurs and employment opportunities and jobs. He's done it in Denver. He's going to do it statewide. He's going to lead this state out of the economic recovery. Thank you all for being here, for supporting him. Thank you for getting your friends out to vote. And I am going to introduce your state senator, Gail Schwartz.
All right, Salida. Well, we are thrilled to be here, and I remember stopping up us 4 years ago. Look how much we have done. In 4 years, Colorado's moving forward. This is such a critical election year. We've accomplished so much. We can be proud of so much, but this is a year that we will not let Colorado move backwards. We cannot allow a majority to come in, either into the governor's office or take the legislature, that won't move forward on issues like building new schools where we need them. Issues like getting local foods into our local markets. Making sure we are capitalizing on the resources of rural Colorado. Our wind, our solar, our hydro, our geothermal, our biomass, those are our resources, those are our jobs, those are the jobs of the future. And most importantly, funding education overall. New buildings are one thing, but we must make sure that Colorado has a strong infrastructure when it comes to both higher education and K-12 education, and the resources are there for those communities. I'm asking all of you. I'll be back here. I'm going to go knock on doors this afternoon. Tomorrow we'll be knocking on doors this weekend. Every vote matters. It is so critical that people understand how much is at stake and how much Colorado can be proud of, and we are going to continue on that progress into the future. Again, supporting this remarkable ticket, Hickenlooper Garcia. What leadership we're going to bring in one of the most difficult economies. Colorado is still acknowledged as one of the top 4 states in the nation in terms of a state to do business in. And this is not how we're going to get out of this downturn. We're going to grow this economy. We're going to create the jobs that we need. And that starts not only today with putting the right incentives for people to start businesses, but also having a strong higher education system that creates a workforce that attracts that business. Not to say we have the most beautiful state in the nation, the most beautiful Senate district, and a lot to be proud of. And I'll introduce Joe Garcia, who's been a fantastic champion for higher education in the state of Colorado, currently, or taking a leave of absence from president of Colorado State University, Pueblo, a long history, and understands how integral higher education is to the economy of Colorado. And let's make sure we all get out and vote and support this remarkable ticket. Welcome, Joe Garcia.
Good morning, good afternoon. You know, it is great to be here, and it is great to be running with John Hickenlooper. But I have to say, when I introduce myself and say I'm Joe Garcia and I'm running for lieutenant governor, the first response is always kind of, really? I know I don't look like a lieutenant governor candidate. I'm a little unconventional, but you know, I've been in the state for a very long time, and I've had the chance to do a lot of great things. You know, I came here originally to go to CU Boulder. My family has deep roots in southern Colorado, northern New Mexico. But I came here to go to CU Boulder and really never left except to go back east for a couple years for law school. I've lived in southern Colorado the last 30 years. And I love southern Colorado, and I want to do everything I can to make sure that southern Colorado benefits. Whenever something good happens up in Denver, I want to make sure we feel the benefits down here in southern Colorado. I think that's critically important. Now, you know, I I'm passionately committed to education because I know the difference it's made in my life. And I think we need to remind people that investing in education is not just investing in an individual, but investing in a community and in a state. And I want every young person in Colorado to have the same kind of opportunities I've had. You know, once I left law school, I came out here, I practiced law for 10 years, then I went to work for Governor Romer on his cabinet. Then I went to work for President Clinton running the Housing and Urban Development Department here in the Rocky Mountain States. And then I took over Pikes Peak Community College in Colorado Springs. And I ran that for 5 years, and now CSU Pueblo the last 4.5. And what I've loved about those institutions is they serve students who remind me a lot of me. It is students who weren't particularly well-resourced financially or well-prepared academically, but who had ambition and a drive to improve their lives. And I get to see that every day. I get to see students transforming their lives and making a difference for their families and their communities. And I want every young person to have that same opportunity. Now, John and I didn't know each other before a couple of months ago. And people called him and said, maybe you should look at this guy Garcia. And he was willing to be open-minded and to talk to me and to say, you know, what is it that matters to you? And we've been learning a lot about each other. One of the things I've learned about John, or at least campaigning with John, is that we spend a lot of time in pubs. What I've also learned, you know, we all have this image of John, if we hadn't met him, as sort of a quirky individual who rides a scooter or jumps out of planes or plugs parking meters. But what I've learned is when you talk to him about policy, he suddenly becomes very focused and very serious and very thoughtful. He is, believe it or not, he's a really sharp guy. And he has given a lot of thought to issues from water to economic development to higher education. And so I'm really honored to have this opportunity to work with him, to campaign with him, and I look forward to working with him when, as we all know, he will be elected governor of Colorado. He is a special guy, and we need a special guy because we're going through tough times right now. But look at the other candidates, and then ask yourself, I mean, who is qualified? Who is the most qualified person to lead this state? I think that's an obvious answer. We have someone who has been a successful businessman, who has been a successful mayor of Denver, who has helped to demonstrate that government can be smaller and yet more effective, that it can be lean and efficient and yet still compassionate. That is what we need in this state government, and that is what John Hickenlooper will provide. Please help me in welcoming our next